Hello. Okay, so I got my old mask back, but I still have a hint of anger from that old mask in me. So I'm going to be doing some matchups that I think are stupid. These are some upcoming fights that I think are totally mismatched or just like, why are you doing it? I don't get it. And we'll start it off with Pereira versus Roundtree. And we'll go from bottom to top on what I'm least to most mad at. So yeah, I'm not super mad at this fight. It's just like, why? And it's not anyone's fault. It's really just Magomed's fault. So it's okay. Magomed can only fight in Abu Dhabi. So it's like, it's whatever. They didn't want to wait. I understand that. Fuck Magomed Ankalaev. Let's keep him on keep him away from the belt. I'm fine with that. But I just am sick of not having a real contender fighting for belts. It's so often now that there isn't like a really like battle hardened contender fighting for the belt lately. In a lot of weight classes, it's just uncommon nowadays. So this fight is just like, come on. Number six, he's coming off a win against Anthony Smith. It doesn't exactly earn you a title shot in my opinion, but it's not horrible. I'm okay with it. It's a cool fight. It'll be fun, but it's just like he doesn't deserve it. So it's just like, okay. And if Pereira loses, it's like, fuck. If Pereira loses to Ankalaev, it's like, okay, that's a tough fight for him. But if he loses a Roundtree, I'm a big Pereira fan, so I'm being a little bit. I don't like him taking fights that will make him look bad if he loses. But I don't think he's gonna lose. I think Pereira's gonna win. But it's just like, it doesn't make me as hyped as someone that's like really earned it, like Magomed has. But that doesn't really bother me that much. But I'll be super excited. I'm glad Magomed's getting fucked over. But just the whole situation in general is just kind of annoying. But next, Stephen Thompson versus Joaquin Buckley. I don't like this. I think Stephen Thompson, I brought this up in my last video, but I think Stephen Thompson should be getting like veteran fights. Like, give him Page. That sounds fun. I don't really like that because karate versus karate tends to be boring. But come on, give him like a veteran. Give him like a cool fight. Like, give him something cool. Don't give him Joaquin Buckley, like up and coming contender. Like, come on. You give. We'll talk about it. But the whole like respecting the veterans thing just only applies to Stipe and Jones, I guess. It's just stupid. I get it. I hope Steven wins, but if Steven wins, it doesn't do much for him, and if Joaquin wins, it does bad things to my liking of the sport. It does bad things to my mindset going into the UFC. I just don't like seeing Steven lose. And he does bad against wrestling, and I'm like, come on. You could do way more hype things with Steven, and it's just kind of annoying. Yeah, Wonder Boy deserves better, in my opinion, but it's okay. It's whatever. I hope he wins, but it's just like, come on. I don't. It's annoying because I like Buckley too, so I don't like when two people I really like go against each other. But I really like Steven, so I really hope he wins. But it's like, fuck. Put him against someone at least. It's gonna be like a fun thing. But it's whatever. So next up, Robert Whitaker versus Hamzat Chimaev. I get now it's different, a little bit different. Robert Whitaker asked for this fight so he could like stomp on the UFC parade for Hamzat or whatever. But still, I think it's dumb. I think it's that Hamzat pulled out of the fight. Whitaker beat Ikram, and now he earns Hamzat again. I think that's stupid. I think he should. And this all kind of goes down to Strickland's dumbass not taking a fight. Strickland Whitaker is like the best fight to make right now for a number one contendership. But I get they have to have a title fight for Dreykus. And I guess that worked out for Strickland. I guess I was wrong. They might give Strickland the frickin' title shot. And it's whatever. That's cool with me. I think that rematch is interesting. But I think Robert Whitaker versus Strickland, same thing with like the number one contender, like fully fledging one. Like that would make like a bona fide contender. Because Robert Whitaker arguably deserves it. Just as much as Strickland. So it's like, It's just kind of it's just irritating. Like we could have a real contender going against Dricus if Robert and Strickland just fought, but since they're not, we just don't get that. But it's whatever. It's okay. I like Hamzat. If he wins, that'll be interesting. If Robert wins, see, but that's where it gets weird. If Robert wins, it just gets weird if Robert beats Hamzat. Because Hamzat isn't very highly ranked, and Robert Whitaker already got beat by Dricus. If Strickland beats Dricus, then that's interesting. But we could just get that fight out of the way and make whatever the rematch. They both lost to Dricus. If they fight each other in a good, hardcore fight, and then leave Hamzat to fight a different contender, he hasn't earned a top 2 or 1 fight in my opinion. So it's like, I don't get it. And we could have Whitaker and Strickland go against each other, and then make a redemption arc for a rematch against Dricus. But it's okay. It doesn't really matter. That's kind of my kind of what I keep saying for these matchups. But still, it doesn't really matter. If Hamzat wins, it becomes more interesting. Just because his style is, he hasn't been beat. Robert Whitaker's been beat by Dricus. So it just makes, and I think Dricus beats Strickland. So Hamzat Chimaev winning makes it a little bit more interesting. But it's just like, I feel bad for Whitaker. Even though he wanted to take this fight, it's just like, come on. He earned better than this than having to fight Hamzat. You should be in the same boat as Strickland waiting for a belt. But it's fine. It's okay. He asked for it. I respect that. If he beats Hamzat, it's a badass move. But it's just a little annoying. But next up, Jon Jones versus Stipe. I could go on and on about this one. This one's the worst matchup of all time, I think. The first one might be. My next one might be the worst of all time. No, it's not the worst of all. But this one might be. Jon Jones versus Stipe is absurd. Doing veteran service when you're the champ of the division is so dumb. Stipe hasn't won a fight in so fucking long. He hasn't even, he lost his fight when Pereira got into the UFC, I'm pretty sure, against Ngannou. And it's just like, what are we doing? Jon Jones hasn't fought. He's fought 1 time in 4 years. They're both old as fuck. Jon Jones isn't as dominant as one would think, in my opinion. Stipe is old. I respect Stipe, but the UFC, they just decided to respect him right now. They never respected Stipe. They treated him like shit his whole career, and then now when they want to give him to Jones, they treat him like he's something special. It just isn't, like, you have to keep to your path. Like, keep doing what you're doing. You can't just steer off because you want Jones to win a fight. That's stupid. And Jon Jones has a contender. Like I've been saying, the contender that is like cemented is Tom Aspinall. Get that fight. It's the biggest fight in the UFC. Get that fight. We don't need this in the meantime. Nobody would give a shit if that fight got canceled. I don't get it. It's absurd, that fight being made. But yeah, it's absurd. It doesn't make any sense. Jon Jones is ducking and being a little bitch. And Stipe, I like Stipe. If this fight goes through, I hope Stipe fucking wins. That'd be so funny. It'd be so funny. It'd shit all over everybody's parade. It'd be so funny. But he's not gonna. I mean, he could, but he's not gonna. And yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. It's holding up everything. It's making like, if you want to make this matchup, you can make this matchup. Strip Jon Jones of the belt. Like, that's the big quarrel. Him having the belt makes this just the worst thing ever. It's just holding up everything. When you have Tom there, blatantly there, and beating everybody in a minute. It's just like, come on. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, that one really makes me mad. But we'll see what happens with that. I hope is planning on happening in November, I guess. So I guess we'll see. But I don't want that to happen. If it happens, I want Stipe to win, or I want Stipe to pull out, and I want John Jones or Tom Aspinall to step in on short notice. I think he beats. I think Tom Aspinall any day of the fucking week, no camp. He could be drunk and he could beat John Jones when John Jones is on steroids like he always is, in my opinion. Like Tom Aspinall gets him out of there. Shit, maybe 2 minutes. Oh, maybe three. Maybe not in a minute like everyone else. Maybe he gets him out of there in 3 or 2. Oh my god. Like it doesn't. I don't get John Jones, the hype at heavyweight. Ciryl Gane, I don't like. I don't rate Ciryl Gane highly at all, to be honest. He was never the best heavyweight. He was proven not to be the best heavyweight. He went a lot of rounds with Tuivasa, got rocked by Tuivasa. Horrible look right now. John Jones got him out of there in a minute, and neither of them looked good in that fight. As much as Dana White wants to say, it just wasn't good, and it just looks like shit for everybody involved. And Dana White looks like a dumbass, no matter how much he wants to like play into it, like, oh, I'm being self-aware about it. Like it's just horrible. It's just so dumb. But Tom's really, what Tom Aspinall is doing now is getting aggressive about his trash talk. He's like bringing up the steroids and shit, which I like a lot. He needs to really start doing that, because then we might get this fight. It's already more hyped up than Stipe, but we might actually convince the brain dead UFC people and Dana that this fight doesn't fucking matter, and we need Aspinall on there. But yeah, that's all. That's all for that fight. Next up, my least favorite matchup of the year, in my opinion. Stupidest shit ever. I get the first one. Why is this happening? Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista is the dumbest thing ever. Jose Aldo deserves a title elimination bout or a title fight, in my opinion. He is arguably the featherweight GOAT. He had to go against... Fuck, I'm blanking. What am I talking about? He had to go... Okay, yeah. I'm not blanking anymore. Jonathan Martinez. He had to go against Jonathan Martinez, which already way too low in the rankings. Why do you have to go against... Why does he have to go against him? He had the best performance against Merab that any fighter's ever had. And Merab is fighting for the belt, and number 2 solidified. Unlike Cheeto. Cheeto never deserved a title fight in the first place. Jose beat Cheeto. Jose has like... This one's getting me angry, bro. Jose Aldo has wins over so many contenders in the bantamweight division. In the bantamweight division. He's a fucking featherweight. He's a featherweight GOAT fighting in the bantamweight division and has wins over like 5 ranked contenders. Why does he have to go against Mario Batista? What is happening? Put him against one of the top 2 or 3, or put him in a title fight. Why are we doing this? Why are we disrespecting him? Why is the only veteran respect treatment going to Stipe and Jones? What? Jose Aldo is a GOAT of the sport and hasn't used fucking PEDs like John. Why is he getting this treatment? Why does he have to fight number 12 and 13 in a row, who are dangerous matchups, young up-and-comers that can fight each other or fight anyone else up the rankings? Jose Aldo is old, he's a veteran, but he's still great. He only has a couple more fights in him. He already retired once. Give him someone good and then put him in a title fight. What is why? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make any sense at all. Jose Aldo deserves so much better. Or give him a veteran fight. Give him Dominic Cruz. Unless Dominic said no. Because I would think they would have brought that up. Dominic probably, to be honest, Dominic probably did say no. But it's like, come on. Give him a top 2. He beat the former title challenger. Cheeto just fought for a belt. Jose Aldo beat the shit out of him. What are we doing? Why does he have to fight Mario Batista? And then what are they going to do after that? Why do they hate Aldo so much? It's so dumb. He has so many interesting matchups in the top 3 and 4. What are we doing? I don't get it at all. That matchup makes me the most mad of any matchup, ever. We are, the Jonathan Martinez matchup made me angry. That in itself made me mad. Why are we doing this? Why is Umar Nurmagomedov getting Corey Sandhagen and Jose Aldo gets Mario Batista? Umar Nurmagomedov hasn't fought anyone, hasn't fought a fucking ranked contender. Why does he get the number 2 guy while Jose Aldo's stuck getting someone below him? What are we doing? He's coming off a win against Jonathan Martinez. He's coming off a loss, close fight, arguable win, in my opinion, against Merab, who is, in my opinion, definitely number 1 contender by far. What are we, how? Jose should have got the Corey Sandhagen matchup. He should get the Peter Yan matchup. He should get the Figueiredo matchup. He shouldn't go any lower than 5. He shouldn't go any lower than 3, in my opinion, but I'll give him 5. He should be fighting for the belt after 2 more fights. But now they're giving him Batista? What are they going to do after that? If he even wins? They're going to give him Song Yadong? Why does he have to work up the rankings? It doesn't make any sense, and it pisses me off more than any other matchup. And I had to vent this, because it was making me really mad. But yeah. Those are my points. Those are some matchups that I think are kind of dumb. Some of them are just we could do a little better, but I get it. They kind of were forced their hand. But Jose Aldo versus Mario Batista is nuts. John Jones Stipe is nuts. What are we doing? It's just going downhill. And those 2 matchups in themselves contradict themselves so much with the veteran thing. It's just... He's Dana White said that people would riot if they canceled the Stipe fight, and because he's the heavyweight GOAT. I don't get the difference between that and Jose Aldo versus Batista. What the fuck is that matchup? You're just ruining Jose Aldo's chances. He's old. Let him have some glory fights. He's a great fighter who only has 2 or 3 more fights. Why are you giving him Batista? Give him some fun matchups. Yeah, it just makes me so angry, that one. But yeah. I think that's it. A longer video again. I'm sorry the negative ones are so long. But yeah, I think that's it. That needs to be fixed. Something needs to be fixed. The matchmaking there is just atrocious. It's just so bad. I'm getting all hot and sweaty again. But I love this mask compared to the other one. But God, what are we doing? But yeah, I think that's about it. I will see you soon. In a couple days, I think, probably. I'll see you soon.